5:03 now, and we are, of course, continuing our coverage this morning with the latest on that devastating Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse that happened in Baltimore, Maryland yesterday morning. Now, officials say 6 of the people who fell into that river when the bridge collapsed yesterday morning are presumed to be dead.
Just awful, Jimmy, this morning. Dive teams will continue to search for those victims as rescue efforts now shift to a recovery mission. PHL17's Alyssa Cristelli, she's live in Maryland where this collapse happened. Alyssa, what can you tell us this morning from the scene there?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Well, at this point, we know all 6 of those people who are missing were construction workers. They were working with a pothole repair crew on the bridge at the time that it collapsed yesterday morning. Now, at this point, authorities are saying that all of those people are presumed dead at this point, but the search for them will continue this morning. The Coast Guard says that around 6 a.m., dive teams will go back into that water to try and recover their bodies.
Couldn't totally see it, and then once I rode my bike all the way, I kind of saw the thing was gone, and I was like, man, it's just crazy.
And this is the moment that it happened when a cargo ship rammed into the 1.6-mile-long Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore early yesterday morning at around 1:30 a.m., causing the bridge to collapse, sending 8 of those workers into the water. Authorities say 2 of them have been rescued, but 6 others are still missing. One person who was pulled from the water was sent to the hospital, treated, and has since been discharged. But now the Coast Guard has turned search and rescue into a recovery mission.
Based on the length of time, the extensive search efforts that we've put into it, the water temperature, that at this point we do not believe that we're going to find any of these individuals still alive.
We're going away from the search and rescue portion to a recovery operation. The changing conditions out there have made it dangerous for the first responders.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore says the ship reported that it lost power just before it crashed, and the crew was able to issue a mayday call, allowing first responders to stop traffic on the bridge before the crash. Some vehicles were able to escape with seconds to spare. Now, police believe the construction workers are the only people who went into the water. All of the crew members, including the 2 pilots, were accounted for, and there were no reports of injuries. But one woman says the thought of this is just so scary. She takes this bridge all the time.
I probably have taken it maybe 30 to 40 times in the past couple years. So it was pretty scary to know that I've, been driving on that bridge.
So again, at this point right now, guys, to recap, we know that the Coast Guard called off the search and rescue efforts last night. They also said that the conditions in the water, all of the debris, made it very dangerous for the first responders. We know the governor of Maryland also said yesterday at this point there is no credible information to suggest that this is a terrorist attack. I'll send back to you guys.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much for being there in Maryland on the scene. We'll wait to see how things develop this morning.